Okay, so before we get into this here, I'm just going to outline the two biggest things that I saw that might be issues. So the first one being you tend to push up a little too far, farther than you need to, um, sometimes at the wrong times and sometimes just farther than you need to. And this is related to the other issue, which is boost kind of hunger. So I'll point it out when I see it. But this starts out well, a good bump, everything's fine. Grabbing boost there makes sense. So far, so good. Good patience there. Beat that guy. Then that's a great pass to your teammate. Unfortunately, he misses. That's all right. So there's the first place where you're inching up a little farther than you need to. I think if you're just patient and you kind of calm down a little bit, you can sit, 2 car lengths back from here and really have the same ability to score it, but you'll have a little bit more ability to adapt to whatever things happen. Okay, that's fine. You go up, don't quite get it. And then here, you kind of panic again. You're like, the ball's there. You jump, you miss, almost get scored on, but that's fine. Okay, so now you're low on boost, so you're not pushing up too far. That's good. Playing at midfield. Check the boost with ball cam or off of ball cam, so that's nice. I really like here patient shadow defense. That's really, really good. Something that a lot of players fuck up is they'll try to dive in here, kind of out of panic, but you are playing well distanced from the opponent and waiting for your teammate to possibly come and help you while you kind of just buy time. So that's fantastic. It works. And now you guys have possession. Grabbing their corner boost is usually a really good idea, so that's fantastic. Nice little backfield pass and a goal. Great. All right. Going for back corner boost makes sense. You could have pushed up a bit, but that's fine. So again there, same issue as before, is you could have been, just slightly farther back here. You could have basically waited here, and then you would have had a much better angle to get the ball. But instead you kind of inch forward, keep inching forward, and then, oh no, it's on top of me. And then you have to jump straight up, and it's like a subpar clear. I don't think it ends up hurting you, but it's still something to worry about. And you can notice that here, when you cleared it out of the goal, you're successful because see how far back you are in the goal? You can really react to anything you need to here, but it gives you space to take the shot that you need. Okay, you got bumped, so you couldn't quite get to the ball where you wanted. This is fine. Went for demo, totally fine. Good save. So there, I don't really know what's the point of going for boost here. So this is the second issue I've noticed, which is here you're 100 boost, right? You don't need it. You could just slow down for a sec, wait for the ball to come to you, but you kind of chase it in the corner, going for that boost pad, and then you're left in this awkward situation underneath the ball, where you could have otherwise controlled it or basically done something to have a better angle here. But because you went for that boost pad that you really didn't need, and you took it away from your teammate, you're stuck in this awkward position. Okay, so I think your teammate got it for you. So here's another situation. It's fine, it's okay. It's just a little suboptimal. In hindsight, it's kind of 2020. So this is kind of a fake challenge, but I would say that I'm not sure if turning there actually gains you anything. I'd say this one's like 50-50, because maybe that guy would have tried to dribble it, and then you could have bounced on it. And your teammate is rotating back right now, so it's okay. But it's possible you didn't really have to fake challenge there, right? Go towards the ball, and then you kind of went towards the ball expecting that you wouldn't get it, right? That's a fake challenge, but you don't really necessarily need to do that. Okay, so here's another situation. You're taking yourself all the way out of the play to go and hopefully get the back right corner boost. And I think don't underestimate those tiny boost pads. If you've taken a slightly different path back, where is it? So yeah, from here, if you take a path back over, there's plenty of boost pads in the way. Like you definitely could have gone to where you need to go, uh, and kind of chilled a little farther forward. You were probably also rotating back to get to goal faster, which is fair, but it seems like some of the reason you went back was for boost, and again, you want to try to. It's underestimated by a lot of people how much you can do with 50 boost as opposed to 100. Okay, good patient defense there. Patient defense here as well. That's good. Alright, so you boom it up and you're following it. Almost scored that. Would have been pretty sick, but it's a good attempt. Everything's fine. So again, here you're really taking yourself out of the play, right? So you go, take your shot on goal, and then you're like making like that flip there is what really feels weird, right? Because you could have flipped earlier, right? So if you flipped, now or now, I would have said like a diagonal flip. I would have said, okay, you're trying to get back into position a little bit faster, totally fine. But you flip here, which is odd because you're locked into this motion now, where it's going to take you all the way back to the back half of your field. Your teammate just hit the ball, so you're in this really weird position now because you flipped to get back farther. And I think you could have probably just kind of played a little more patiently here. Just waited, let your car slow down a bit, see what's going on. Also, I would say I'm not sure why you're on off-ball cam here, right? You have no idea what's going on in the play, and that seems like an issue. Maybe you're checking what boost you can get, but again, like you know where the boost pads are, and over time, you'll just be able to drive over them without even thinking about it. But even now, you're driving down the middle. You know you're going to hit boost pads. You don't need to look to check. Okay, so yeah, this turn here is kind of the opposite of what you did well before. Your teammate is farther forward than you. He's rotating back, so he might get back, but he's farther forward than you. And you make a turn here, which seems risky. If you play patiently, you'll probably get possession anyway, maybe a little bit farther back on your field, but you'll probably get possession anyway. And if your teammate was a bit slow, like if there wasn't enough boost, it could put you in a bad position. And even as is, you do end in a bad position because you're leaving your teammate in 1-on-2. So first, when you're first in defense, unless you're pretty sure you can intersect the ball or intercept the ball, play patiently, play shadow defense, let them come to you, and let them mess it up. And a lot of times, your teammate can come and help you. Now, when you are in that first player position, and you know your teammate's behind you, like directly behind you, that's a good time to challenge because you'll force the enemy to make some sort of move, and then your teammate can collect it. But here, your teammate wasn't behind you yet. So you're basically just banking on intercepting the ball here, right? Because the chances your teammate can get all the way over from, all the way over, he'll be probably going for that boost. Okay, he's actually rotating back, but from over here to collect the ball after you challenge it here, it's by no means a sure bet. Here you are. So it's by no means a sure bet that you'll actually get this ball. And you're now out of the play a lot. Luckily your teammates got it, which is great. Collecting boost there makes sense. You're low. It's close to you, it's in your path. Turning your back to the ball is the right play there. Unfortunate you missed that. Try to practice those, but I'm not really going to critique mechanics because, mechanics just take time. It's totally fine. Good to challenge there because you know your teammate's behind you. Your teammate went in for that, which is unfortunate, but luckily you got the demo. Good interception there. You probably could have turned earlier, but it really accomplished the same thing, so no big deal. Great 50-50, absolutely fantastic. Unfortunate that she didn't get the goal there. I don't really think you could have done anything to get it. Like if you were slightly faster, like more efficient with your flips, maybe. So yeah, that's an interesting one. So in this case, I think you did the right thing, because this guy's going for the bump. So I understand why you're like, I just have to go and hit this. So I think this is the right approach to take, but definitely You know, there's a reason why the bump meta is so strong among high-level players is because this guy coming to bump you means you can't really play shadow defense how you want to, so you have to commit in. So I think this is the right decision, but this is an exception to where normally if you're last back, you want to be playing shadow defense. Oops, gotta be on 100%. I think you just missed here. I don't... Yeah, a bit of panic there. I'm not quite sure what that flip was about. I'm trying to I honestly don't know. I think you were trying to catch the ball, like, right now. Yeah, I can't really figure that one out. Let's see. Could you have done anything to avoid this? Actually, this one isn't really your fault. So your teammate here made a pretty big mistake by going in so hard. Just in general, when you're in the opposing corner, the ball is usually going to pop out towards your goal. So your teammate there shouldn't be committing in because you can't get out of that corner fast enough. So I don't think that one's your or bad. That's kind of your teammate playing a little silly. You're probably too far up here, I would say. Because basically the only way this works is if you end up doing basically the same thing your teammate just did to make you concede, right? Like the only way this works is if you go and you smack the ball when your teammate's already in the opposing corner. And 80% of the time that bounces out towards your goal. So it doesn't really make sense to go into their corner like that when you see your teammate in front of you. And you almost get scored on it. Or you almost get scored for it. Luckily you don't. That's a fine hit. Take some pressure off. I'm liking the patient defense here. It's unfortunate that it didn't really work out, but it's good to wait. You probably could have hit it there though. I would say it was good to be patient here. And then that right here is where you could have pretty easily lightly touched it into the corner. Remember, you want the ball to be in your corner when you're on defense because the corner is the place where most of the bounces will lead to it getting cleared away from you. So, it would be advantageous there. Looking for boost is fine. I mean, maybe grabbing pads would have been the right plan here instead of going for this boost pad, but I don't think that's that big a deal. Like, I would have probably gone for it, just assuming it's there and then been sad when it wasn't. So now you're grabbing pads, which is correct. Yeah, you you just kind of gotta hit those. Like, it happens to all of us, but hitting it like that is unlucky, as they say. This is a little bit of a weird one. I think you want to be more decisive here. So, if you're going to defend this ball, you should be farther back in the goal by a little bit. Both towards the far post and slightly towards the back of the goal, because from that position, you have enough space to hit the ball no matter where they shoot it. Or you gotta rush fast to hit the ball, even though you might hit it at the same time as your teammate. You gotta commit to it. But you kind of do neither here, which isn't great. So yeah, being a little bit farther back in the goal would have been one solution, or committing hard to that ball would have been the other solution. Yeah, so this is one of the things that I've noticed. I mean, actually, this might... I don't really know what's happening here. So, I don't know what rank you are. In higher ranks, this is not a ball you should go for at all, because there's no way you beat him to it, and it's unlikely that he misses. I don't know what rank you're in, so it's possible that it is a reasonable thing to assume that he misses here. But you kind of play it like it's a fake challenge. Like you're already turning before you even know whether he's hit the ball or not. So I would say, what does this fake challenge do for you? Like what are you gaining out of this? Right? The guy's going to hit the ball anyway. Like usually you use a fake challenge to try to get the opponent to do something stupid. And admittedly, he did do something stupid, but I think he just did it because he missed. I don't think it was because of your fake challenge. You want a fake challenge when they have possession and, you know, they are looking to do something to beat you. But if you challenge them, they'll try to beat you, and then it's a fake challenge, meaning you back away instantly, and then now you have possession. But I'm not really sure if, even if he had possession here, the fake challenge would have worked. It's pretty clear he's going to try to boom it, right? Like most players in this situation would try to boom it. So I think most likely fake challenging here is a mistake. So again, playing a little bit more patient might be the way to go. This is a tough one. So I know that you probably don't, I mean, I feel similarly. I wouldn't feel confident with 21 boost here. But on the other hand, this ball is like pretty free. Like that guy isn't really going to get to it before you do if you turn now. So you could have turned and like banged it against the wall here and it would have made its way to the center. So I think an over-reliance on boost here is kind of what does you in. And then at this point, I guess you're kind of screwed. So you're like, all right, I guess I'll just go for back corner boost because maybe you can't turn anymore. However, you should already have switched back to ball cam at this point. Like you know where you're going roughly, right? Maybe a flip later from now, you should go back off of ball cam to like actually get the boost. But you know you're going to your back corner. Being on ball cam here is unnecessary. So I would say try to work on switching back to ball cam a little bit faster when you're going for boost. Good try. So yeah, playing off the wall is super important, super underrated. Go into free play, just smack the ball up the wall and try to get good clean hits towards the goal, towards the backboard, etc. When I was playing like earlier, like, oh my god, I think even when I was playing, I don't know if you remember, but there used to be superstar ranks instead of, you know, like diamond, gold, etc. And like rising star, etc. One of the things that like helped me climb the most is that I just was naturally like better than average for the people in my rank, clearing off the wall, and that continues to be something very helpful. So yeah, don't underestimate how valuable getting things off the wall is. And there's also situations that haven't really come up, or maybe are just not obvious, but there are situations that once you become comfortable playing off the wall, you'll be like, oh, I don't have to go up for this aerial. I can drive up the wall, then jump off it and hit the ball. We'll get there faster and use less boost. So if I see one of those situations, I'll try to point it out. Playing off the wall is very, very valuable, though. You are lucky that he missed that one, because that was a risky aerial. Your teammate is in front of you with no chance of getting back in time. So yeah, when your teammate's in the opposing corner, don't go for anything risky. Maybe you had confidence that you're going to hit that, and you just messed up, which is fair. But if you feel like that wasn't something you're confident about, then it was a mistake to go for it. Yep, another play off the wall that, with more confidence, would have gone better for you. On ball cam, too long there. Definitely. That's a bit risky going in like that, and it ends up almost getting you scored on. Right, like your teammates, you know. I mean, you can see your teammate, he's there. There's no way he's getting back right now, right? So that feels like a mistake in your rotation. Generally, if you can see your teammate in front of you and he's not pointed backwards towards your goal, you don't want to commit very hard, just as a rule of thumb. Because if he's pointed backwards towards your goal, he's probably retreating, so it's fine. But if he's sideways or forward, a little bit riskier. And if he has no momentum especially, a little bit riskier to try to commit into that. And of course, it all depends on how confident you are you're going to win the 50-50. If you know you're going to win the 50-50, then, oh yeah, commit like crazy. But I don't think that was the case where you knew you were going to win the 50-50. Yeah, this is like a microcosm of the issue I've been having, where the ball's coming, you're totally fine, and then you drive forward just a little bit too far, and now you're in an awkward position. I don't think this is actually the same thing. This is just a mechanical or a prediction mistake, but it's kind of funny because it's similar to the issue I was having for the other parts of the game. Yeah, the goal itself, I don't know if it's your fault. Like, it's, you guys double committed. It happens. Your teammate missed the rebound or didn't get there fast enough. You're definitely driving way too far into the opposing half, and I'm not sure why. You flip, and then you don't immediately turn. I'm not really sure what's happening here. Right, like, I would expect you flip, you land, and you should immediately start turning to go back right now. Unless you're just confident your teammate's going to clear it up, I at least wouldn't be driving forward as hard as you are. You know, at least drive sideways. Keep your momentum, but don't commit too far forward. All right, well, overall, pretty good gameplay. Your mechanics, other than wall mechanics, seem solid. I'd say you don't really go for many aerials, but that's okay. I don't know what your rank is. And I like a lot of your defense. I'd say the biggest place you need to work is get more confident with low boost, and also become more patient, like become more comfortable with kind of waiting for things to develop. It's generally not a good idea to stop, like to stop your momentum, but driving in a circle, for example, can sometimes be a good way to wait for play to develop if you're already in a good position. So yeah, don't go quite as far forward.